It's unfortunate that I even have to make this video, but I'm going to be talking about 1. The common pattern between spiritual LARPs, 2. Some actual spiritual LARPs, and 3. Solutions. The solution is always the same, it's simple. But one pattern I see always with the spiritual LARP people is they talk about transcendence, non-duality, awareness. Just do this. It's all about shortcuts, right? The ego loves shortcuts, though. If you understand ego mechanisms, control, avoidance, craving, attachment, you'll see that, the ego really likes the stuff like manifestation. Just transcend the mind, just meditate, just, feel your feelings and let everything go. Then, separately, you could step into the world and you'll be a healed, fully fixed self. The ego doesn't like having to act despite not being perfect and step into virtue. But virtue is a magnet for your consciousness to become more pliable to God. The ego must become humble and be able to accept God's will. Because God's will is where that ultimate love, ultimate compassion, ultimate truth, ultimate contentment come in. The same virtues that you're embodying are literally making you more like God, like God's image. So you'll see on one hand that you have these people that want to completely detach from life, spiritually bypass. Look that up. Spiritual bypassing. Just leaving this ego behind without understanding the purpose, which we become aware of God, but our daily life, our everyday moment of living is supposed to be of God. Not just, we had some sort of psychedelic experience or some spiritual bypassing experience, and now we just stay detached and whatever is happening, our body's rotting, we're just doing immoral activities and it doesn't really matter because all is one. This is all coping. It's completely avoiding responsibility, completely avoiding accountability. So any spiritual teacher that doesn't at least mention virtue is a complete LARP. I'm sorry, okay? You can't just talk about awareness. You can't just talk about, say, crown chakra things without also embodying things. Someone who's truly, truly, truly enlightened will effortlessly embody virtue. In the journey, virtue might take effort, but the virtue is necessary. Think about it. If God came in human form, how would God think, feel, act? It would definitely not be like these spiritual LARP gurus that will tell you just be aware and everything will fix itself. You have a responsibility too. Thoughts, feelings, actions, intentions, beliefs, all this stuff aligns. You completely let go of control under God's plan, God's will. So you'll notice that these virtues make you feel good, think good, act good, align good. It's literally a magnet for you. And I admit, even for myself, it's hard sometimes. I do like this model that a YouTuber named Joe Hudson, his YouTube channel Art of Accomplishment, made, where there's 3 intelligences: the brain, the gut, the heart. And so for the brain, he talks about distinguishing between truth and falsehood. That is what's going to increase that type of intelligence, and people are mostly in their heads. So for the heart, increasing that intelligence is loving and leaning into your emotions, but what I like to describe it as is compassion. So being willing to understand and listen to your feelings, and it's not kind of just sit and all feelings are so valuable and valid. No, it's just understanding. You could understand a very corrupt person. Not that you're calling the emotions bad or anything, not that you call anyone else bad, but when you understand people, you understand, that's where that person came from. You don't have to necessarily agree with their behavior, agree with how they think and feel, but you understand it so you don't feel any hostility, reactivity, and resistance against it. So you understand, you're willing to kind of open yourself up. And lastly, the gut. So for that, he mentions, sinking into a bit pleasure. How can I enjoy this moment a bit more? Not necessarily seeking it in outside things, but say feeling your body and feeling that it could be pleasurable. And I like to describe it a bit differently as contentment. that you're content with every moment, that nothing more needs to be added. You're already complete. You can literally feel positive right now. You can feel good right now. But fourth, I like adding this because a lot of spiritual LARPs, people want to avoid this because they themselves don't want to fully commit to the spiritual path, and that's self-control. Sure, fourth, intelligence, let's add one right there, with the sexual organs. In the modern day, people want to say, oh, like, all that religion stuff, it told you to, like, be monogamous. That's all just conditioning. That's part of the ego. Wrong. Because the ego is the thing that wants its animal desires to be fully enjoyed. Think about it. What if God was in human form, do you think someone godly would be just doing stuff with whoever they see, whoever they wanted, without any self-control? Because the modern day, they want you to think in terms of freedom. Oh, I want to be free, do whatever I want. But that's not freedom, because you're a slave to your lust. So instead of being controlled by other people around you, you're being controlled by the animal impulse. Did you choose your genes? Did you choose this evolution? I mean, in a certain way with karma and things happen, but that isn't you. You're not an animal slave. You're better than this. So a lot of modern spiritual people leave out the self-control, thinking that they're better than that, above that. Oh, we're not dual. Oh, awareness. Like, oh, just let everything happen. No, there's still responsibility. When they die, when they face more and more karma, they'll eventually realize that, hey, there's actually value in self-control. Like your consciousness, you have to realize there's weight to every decision in consciousness, what your consciousness is aligning with. If you're aligning with desire and lack, you're just going to keep digging yourself down that hole. And don't get me wrong, everyone's made mistakes. I've made mistakes. But you have to at least be willing to put aside a little bit of a desire payoff if you really care about this path. So let me tell you, like with the awareness, spiritual bypassing things, some spiritual LARPs. So Krishnamurti, he's like a famous guru who I think is dead now, and I don't want to disrespect anyone, but apparently he had an affair with his best friend and director's wife. So they were married. I don't think he was married, and there was that secret stuff going on. So that's pretty unvirtuous. How can you preach about all these spiritual teachings and be doing that in the background? Again, I don't want to judge anyone, but I just want to provide clarity on how people can sometimes preach something for their own gain but not actually be practicing it. Another one, Deepak Chopra. He's like some bookseller, some spiritual guy who's caught in Jeffrey Epstein stuff. I bet you those two were not really preaching virtue. Apparently Sadhguru has some sketchy allegations with him and his wife. Again, don't want to judge. And I'm trying to think, Osho is a pretty popular guru, though I think is dead now. He claimed to be enlightened. People claimed that he was enlightened. But I always get a bad taste with all the bypassing people because that's not true spirituality. True spirituality has to have virtue. Has to have virtue. Because God is not a slave to these animal things, but these humans are. I think of them as humans. And no disrespect, like, if I somehow generate, like, bad karma by talking bad on these people, somehow they were enlightened or something. I don't know. But, yeah, then forgive me. But we truly want to align ourselves, not just 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Okay, so ask yourself, are you putting 1 foot in, 1 foot out, or are you really about this life? Are you really willing to put this dedication forward? Something really interesting to me is Guru Nanak Dev Ji, first Guru of the Sikhs. He was 11 years old, and he was going to get the ceremony where he was going to be promoted 1 rank up. So he was going to be one of the people of the peak of society, the highest caste in India, Brahman. He was going to get like this rope wrapped around him, like the string, and it meant something, a ceremony. But he said, and he talked about how compassion, truth, contentment, and self-control, Those are the things that mattered. He talked about the different materials of the things, how these spiritual materials cannot be destroyed, like the materials of the thread that was being put onto him. 11 years old, and he already knew this. Meanwhile, all these spiritual gurus that people listen to today, and it's even more dangerous because the algorithm will feed you exactly what you want. It will confirm your biases. It doesn't give you what you need. So people are even more, well, you could agree to disagree about even more prone, because the ego in this world brings you kind of what you are and what you're um, aligned with. So whether an algorithm is affecting that, it's kind of the branch compared to the say trunk of a tree. But yeah, algorithms are just feeding people confirmation bias, helping people engage in that. You need virtue. You can't escape embodiment. For example, people take psychedelics, right? They experience and see amazing things. But in terms of actually implementing that into their life, sometimes it takes years. Sometimes there's a lot of suffering. You're brought back to reality. So why not skip the ups and downs of gaining information and being forced to actually embody it into your life and begin the commitment of embodying it into your life right now? It's difficult. The ego wants to avoid pain. The ego wants to avoid difficulty. But this is a necessary truth. Like, do you want to be continuing to align yourself with the ego or with God? It's a choice.